Next is Barb Stenross. Welcome, Barb. And then is Dave Otto.
I grew up working class in Burton and then Cleveland, Ohio. And I've been in North Carolina 3/4 or more of my life. So, my name is Barb Stenross. I live at 120 Carroll Street. I'm here to represent my husband. His name is Michael Charles Russell. He's often known as MC. He retired from working for the town of Chapel Hill 9 years ago. And he was the senior engineering inspector for the construction of all phases of the Bolin Creek Greenway in Chapel Hill and all the bike paths. He knows this topic. I asked him about constructing the path along the creek. But first he told me what he thought about the Chapel Hill one. He said, regarding the Chapel Hill Bolin Creek Bikeway, he said he thought the town should have acquired more property so they could have put the creek further from the bank, at least 40 to 60 feet. He also felt that in retrospect, they should have paid for creek restoration, which would have cost as much or more than the path itself. He told me that bike paths in the town of Chapel Hill had cost overruns customarily. Why? They had to modify the plans on the ground because they had to bring big equipment down to lay down the roads, the pathways, and also to put the bridges in. So this took a lot of special tuning in the areas where they worked. They had cost overruns because they found that the soils were often unstable. So they had to bring in sub-drainage systems and geotechnical fabrics. And these were not included in the initial designs, but they found they needed them when they're in the field. The big problem in Carrboro, he said, is that the soil materials in Carrboro are even less substantial. The costs will likely be higher, and the heavy rains in the floodplain will add a wild card with respect to safety. In his words, quote, "I am concerned about the amount of damage that will be done during construction and the excessive cost it will take to build a bike path that can support construction equipment and a wash of vehicles. Due to the proposed location next to the creek, I also believe the town would have to commit to a full stream restoration. Failure to do so would become evident after another flood, such as Fran or other big rain event. Even many now ordinary rain events will make bicycling close to the creek treacherous. Contrary to the simplistic images on social media, constructing a bike path along Bolin Creek will involve more than laying down a narrow strip of concrete or asphalt paving. It will involve much heavy equipment, a path that's virtually a roadway in many places, environmental damage, and costly restoration." He says, "I am not sure that Carrboro has a staff or funds to manage such a huge construction project in a sensitive riparian zone. And I worry that even a carefully built and very expensive bikeway in the Bolin Creek floodplain would erode out and be unsafe during heavy rains." I have one more paragraph, but I'll stop there.
Thanks, Barb. Appreciate seeing you tonight.